Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dow here. Well, we have had an influx of people calling the dining hall for various aspects of various things, one or another. And I like to go ahead and try to answer a few of these things right here in order to try to bring clarity when you come to Pastor Dow's YouTube channel, what you can expect. First of all, number one, I'm a man of truth. I believe in truth. I believe in old-fashioned values and morality. And anytime someone tries to champion themselves as if they're for the people, kind of like a lot of politicians, and they act like such and such, so and so, because, a lot of people believe that a person's private life should literally have no bearing on whatever their job description or something like it is. And of course, I differ. Now, my belief system and private system or belief system in general, as far as religious, I'm going to use that to be politically correct and socially pure, okay? Is I've done a hell of a lot of studying in the Bible, a whole lot of studying. And I've come to terms and come to grip that whatever society and religion has promoted, pretty much 99.9% of it is a flat out lie. I know, believe me. You see, we all grew up in this construct right here, assuming and believing that things are certain ways. But when you carefully evaluate some things, you find out, man, people in this world, they actually really truly love fairy tales. They love lies. They love slander. They love discord. They love deceit. And all these things right here. And especially, they love the fallacies of religion. I mean, I'm talking about every aspect of every lie of religion that possibly could be. They'll do that. And then not only that, while these people are having trouble coming to grips and coming to terms with truth, they want to act like and fancy themselves as your judge when you embrace truth. Let's do a couple of contrasts here. Let's do some contrasts. Okay. The world said Sunday. Christianity says Sunday. And Christianity, by default, being the largest religion in the world, is automatically a religion of the Antichrist, anti-Messiah, or a religion that is diametrically opposed against the creator of the universe, the eternal, the most high Yah, whatever you call him. That's what we call him, according to the book. But it says Sunday, and then it makes up all these different narratives and perspectives and ways to try to use the very book that does nothing but talk about the 7th day. It tries to twist, warp, distort, lie, trick people's minds, deceive, and put tradition over truth. But the Bible talks about the 7th day. So I'm for what the Bible says, the 7th day. It's kind of like a lot of people want to know, what do you think about Jesus? Well, first of all, it's irrelevant what I think about Jesus because I have my own relationship with him. What's important is you have your relationship with him, and you need to find out more than anything, because a lot of people say a lot of things about Jesus or Yahshua, HaMashiach, or Jesus the Messiah. A lot of people say a lot of things about him. But if you really truly want to know him, you need to go to him yourself. And you need to study. You need to research. You need to pray. You need to ask him for yourself. So you'll get to know him, because taking the opinions of others is always going to lead you into a path of darkness. You need to know yourself. So go find out what he says. Christmas. You can read that Bible from one end or the other. I don't care how they try to put the wise men, Jesus, baby Jesus in the manger and all this old other stuff. I don't care how they try to put that stuff in there. It don't fit. Just trying to take a square peg and put it into a round circle. It simply don't fit. You see? And then when you get people justify and say, well, it's all for the children. Okay, let me get this right. So you don't want your children to lie to you. You don't want them to deceive you in any way, shape, fashion, or form. Is that correct? But then it's okay for you to lie to them and deceive them. It's okay for you to trick them. And then later on, when they grow up bitter, all of a sudden, they're not supposed to have any issues because it was all in fun and games. No, truth always sets free and lies always bind. All right. And concerning marriage, let's talk about marriage. All right. It's crazy. I just got finished sitting up here watching somebody perform a ceremony, so-called marriage. But when you go read in the Bible, if you got, mind you, I'm talking about morality, morals, and I believe it defines what morality is. Society can't define what morality is because society is confused. But you can have somebody to get up in front of you and read you from a piece of paper because it don't come from the Bible. Dearly beloved, such and such, so-and-so, right? The truth is, whenever a man and woman agrees to be together and they consummate, that constitutes marriage. That's what it does. Because we're far away, far removed from what, if I try to tell you what the biblical constructs of marriage is, most of you would deny God and go straight to hell with gasoline draws on. If I tried to explain to you what real true biblical marriage is and what family is defined by the Bible. You see, again, society is trying to tell everybody the way you should believe, how you should do, but the Bible says something else. And see, and this is where the issues and the trouble come in. And of course, what I usually try to do to be a man of fairness, because I have so many people, they want to debate me on little simple little subjects over here and over there. Then I have other people that says they've been trying to debate Pastor Dow for years and stuff, but I'm running. First of all, if I don't even know you, I don't get any communicate from you, how can I run? And I ain't never been accustomed to running from anybody. I haven't started that ever in my life, and I don't think I'm going to start it at this late juncture in it. But what I usually do is anytime somebody has some type of theological issue or trouble or problem with me or something like that, what I usually do is I ask for this. Rather than just dealing with people who have an assumption of what they believe for truth, I usually ask for someone who has been a pastor for a considerable amount of time that has led people, that has, he doesn't have to have a mega church, just a decent following so he can substantiate your pastorship. And then if you have any letters behind you, degrees, your theologian or whatever it is, hey, I don't mind doing debates, but I like doing professional debates, not video debates where you get behind YouTube and then we argue and we on the screen. No. A professional debate has to be in an environment where people are invited and you have a professional moderator. You have timestamps where you can be able to speak, say your subject, and if you choose to, at the end of it, you can take questions and answers from the audience. Because see, this is the way and the only way to really truly get to the intent of someone's heart, if they're for truth or not. If you go on YouTube, you type in Pastor Dow versus Ron Young. I debated him on Christmas and Easter. We're supposed to get together and do a debate on the Sabbath. I don't think it's ever going to materialize because I actually really truly think that the head schoolmaster theologian has just got so embarrassed. It was such a bloodletting and lynching, and I was actually embarrassed for him. He had no sources. He had nothing. I mean, that's what, if you're going to have a debate, you got to have sources, right? Credible sources. He had nothing to substantiate or back up anything that he believed except his own opinion. And I assumed that he expect people are just supposed to receive what he said simply because he's a theologian. Well, anyway, it's just a sad thing that he should go back and give that degree back, but that's neither here nor say. Then I debated someone by the name of Pastor Roberts on biblical marriage, and that in itself was another bloodletting. Now, listen. You all of us, we may have personal pet peeves where we don't agree with certain things. But mind you, that's only personal preference. Has nothing to do, totally irrelevant concerning truth. And this is where people need to get to in their lives. They need to come to the point that, listen, you may not like this truth, you may not love this truth, but if you choose to be against it, even though it is truth, then what business is it of yours to try to judge someone based on what they want to do? I mean, I'm at a place right now, and every once in a while, you'll see people of alternative lifestyles. Do I agree with it? Hell no, I will never agree with it. And no people of alternative lifestyles will ever be a part of the place where I pastor at. That's my prerogative. And the good thing about it is that I can actually stand on that because I'm not a 501c3. So therefore, I ain't got to worry about no tax exempt status and nothing being moved. I ain't got to worry about saddling up with the government who makes laws with the Supreme Court of the United States of America that justifies something that is definitely against what the Bible says. I don't have to worry about that. And guess what? They don't want to come to where I'm at. And I'm fine with that, and they are fine with it. You go ahead and live your life, I live mine, and then guess what? In the end, somebody is going to be right. Somebody's going to be wrong. And that's just the way it is. And so I don't have any trouble, problems, or issues with people like that. Now, what I do have trouble and problems with is just like anybody else, is when people want to talk about you and people want to act like, that they're concerned and all this other stuff. But the truth is, they really, truly don't care nothing about you. I mean, nobody likes a liar. Nobody likes someone that slanders, defames, speak evil about someone. Come on, do you like that? Do you like that? All right. It's like too many times, more often than not on the internet, there's this guy some time ago that I used to be, I guess you could say, kind of like friends with in the organization. He ends up having morality problems, and his morality problems get him in trouble. But all of a sudden, I'm guilty because I used to associate with him, even though we're in two different states and I didn't know anything about what he was doing. But the people who knew everything about what he was doing, they covered up everything, and you hear nothing about them. Only Pastor Dow, but nobody pays attention to how I voted with my feet and put distance and say, you know what, I'm done with this. I can't handle this. So, if you're going to be an immoral person, I can't stand it. They're just like this. We have a new president, a new vice president. I mean, one of my biggest things is the morality issue. I don't think that people can be in any position to either judge righteously in any way, shape, fashion, or form when you have moral problems. My personal perspective, I'm entitled to free speech. I'm entitled to say what I want to say. And I do. But at the same time, I wanted to be clear that if you're doing this, I don't like you. Therefore, I don't have to associate with you. That doesn't mean I have to do any injury. That doesn't mean I have to do any harm towards you. But you know this. You ain't got to worry about me supporting you or ever coming to your defense if you have moral problems like that. I just don't believe in the alternative perspective. I don't believe in a woman going out and committing adultery against her husband and stuff and sleeping her way to the top of the political chain. I don't believe in that mess. I think that's some serious trouble, serious issues and problems. Even more so, I think it's even more so serious trouble and problems when you have people that are in these positions, news media and everything else, and they go strictly what the book says. See, that's why I keep saying I'm a man of truth. The truth that I believe is always defined by the word. It's not defined from my own conscience or my own volition or my own being. I try to be as honest always as possible, but I know you're not going to please everybody at all times. So now, do I have any enemies? People out there may be my enemy, but I don't have any enemies because I choose not to have any enemies. Now, if you choose to be an enemy, and what I'm saying is, y'all probably should consider what I'm saying and adopt these principles that I'm speaking about, and you'll probably have a hell of a lot more peace in your life. You really, truly would. On the political front right here, I'll hear all the time people levying charges against me. Oh, you're a 100% Trump supporter. So what if I was? I didn't give you an answer if I was or wasn't. But so what if I was? What is it to you? What do you support? Am I making sense? Is it not my prerogative? I've made it clear exactly if I was going to vote, the reason why I would vote for Donald Trump, and it will be on two issues. The first one would definitely be 2A, Second Amendment, all the way Second Amendment. I mean, and any other politician that is against the Second Amendment that constantly tries to infringe upon the rights of the American public when it's already etched in stone and ingrained. And now don't get me wrong, I understand what's going on. I realize that statutory laws have caused people to sign away their rights when they decide to make contracts with governments. And it's just bad. But 2A all the way. You better believe it. And so if you're a politician, you believe in 2A, man, I'm with you. And also what? Freedom of speech. So what is wrong with me supporting someone being that way? I mean, I know the history of the Democratic Party, and I know their history against melanated people. And they can try to dress it up. They can try to shine it up. But when you go back and you look at the history, and that's the thing about it, when you speak, you should speak from an informed perspective. Because when you go back and look at this, I am baffled. I am literally appalled of the mental gymnastics and the games that are constantly played on melanated people when they refuse to look at the history of these candidates. And these new ones that's in office, man, I don't support them in any way, shape, fashion, or form. So, hey, whatever. That's on a political perspective point of view. Now, mind you, I just got finished making a divide between religion and political. That's what I did in order to try to bring clarity. But overall, I'm pretty much a man of truth. And if you choose to listen to what I've got to say, I promise you, somewhere in the juncture of you listening to me, I'm probably going to offend you and make you mad. It's not my intent to offend you or make you mad. But I learned a long, long time ago that everybody is at certain levels when it comes to being informed. I believe that people should try to do whatever they can to invest in themselves and not in this country, because America, in my own personal opinion, has forgotten about the people a long, long time ago. The only people that gets help. You think about this for a second. The 13th Amendment of the Constitution of the United States of America, it was actually intended on talking about how that blacks or melanated people was actually free people, okay? And they were persons under the law that should have rights as well, because when the Constitution was originally written, when it says we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I believe it's pursuit of property, but there's neither here nor there. Is what it says, right? That didn't involve my people because we were in slavery. That didn't involve women. They couldn't vote. Okay. Now you fast forward, a corporation is now a person in the United States of America. How can they become a living, breathing human being when they are a corporation, a fiction, a legal fiction? You see what I'm talking about? And that amendment has come to support corporations over human beings. Now that is off of the proverbial chain. Did I say something wrong? Am I missing something? No, I'm not missing nothing. See, because you don't know something, and you may hear me or somebody else that's a creator on this platform speak about certain things, people like me, I'm trying to give you the tools. I'm trying to give you a pathway of direction, an alternative to choose besides what's laid out in front of you. Because most people think that this is all that you have available to you when there's actually an alternative path. It's the path the way that the remnant goes. It's a path where the few people tread. But those people right there are seeking to live a quiet and peaceful life. But I'm open for dialogue with anybody as long as it's a healthy civil dialogue. That's just the way I am. You don't see me personally going out here just attacking folks unless I retaliate. And then they call retaliation an attack. And nowadays, the mindset of dealing with America is utterly amazing. But anyway, to think that corporations are now an entity and our federal government is using our taxpayer dollars and done put in honked our generations 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to our children, keep printing out all this debt and stuff. They always give that money to the corporations. They give you pennies, $600 stimulus check. They're thinking about a $2,000 stimulus check. While they get millions and billions to bail out the banks and the airlines, all these things, they get all this money for us, from us. But you always settle with the debt. You always settle with shut up, sit down, and be told what to do, because after all, these people have forgotten that they are elected officials. In the real true sense, when you really truly look at it, these people are not being elected today. They're being selected. And it ain't by us. It's by somebody else. That's the skinny and that's the truth. And we all feel it. We all know it. And so what can you do about it? Again, invest in yourself. When you get paid, rather than having those dollars go immediately out to Walmart or some of the big corporations, go and start off buying things that's going to establish you for years to come. Invest in a greenhouse, invest in a garden, invest in land, and invest in things that's going to make you happy. You won't believe how happy you would be. Ain't that right, honey? Absolutely. If you was out gardening, if you had a chance to go to the garden every morning, to be able to pick your own fresh food, where you know it's not shot up with snake venom and monkey pus, GMOs, Roundup, and everything else. When you live a more quality life, besides this unhealthy life, not even knowing what's going into your mouth, where it come from, you'll be at more peace if you could do that. But see, I know it's work, and a lot of people don't want to do work, but it is work. But when you do that, man, you wouldn't believe the quality of life and the environment that you would have. And guess what? It's my job to have to cut on the internet, because I don't cut on a TV. Cut on the internet. I ain't had a TV signal in my house in over 30 years. So it's my job to cut on the internet and try to keep informed to see what these shysters are doing in order to keep the people who listen to me informed, because it charts our course and let me know the next direction, what we need to do, so I can articulate it and communicate it to us, so that we don't continue to keep taking advantage of. So I always try to stay one step ahead of every single one of them. And that's the reason why I'm here. I'm here to try to help you be informed in all facets of truth. Just because there are certain things you may not agree with, before you take a hard position, do your due diligence. Do your own independent research. Use a little bit of self-autonomy. Find out and stop capitulating and acquiescing to every single thing that the news media and everybody else who doesn't have any benefit or ain't trying to have any benefit towards you to improve your life or your standing in life whatsoever at all. You may not like something, but it could be the truth. What you're ignoring, it could be. Consider what I say. Come on over to my Patreon channel. Learn a little bit more. Right now, I'm out of state. I'll be back home to keep everybody informed even more so, because that's my job. That's my job. So I have to sit up here and endure running through the muck and the mire just in order to try to clean up the septic tank and the cesspool of hell that they're trying to cram down our throats. Speak with clarity so that you don't get taken advantage of, because I'm telling you, America don't care nothing about you. Don't believe the dog and pony show. Don't believe the hype. And most people out here that's on the internet, they just want to talk about subjects to entertain you, but nothing is going to benefit you. Nothing at all. What good is it getting out here to know what all these people are doing out here in the world, and nothing about your social life has changed whatsoever at all? You're still in the same condition, and you are not making any improvements. And your future is being taken away from the children's future is being taken away from them. Somebody has got to stop the madness. That's why Pastor Dow's here. Hope it says something to stimulate thought. I want y'all to be encouraged. Consider coming over and being a patron and stuff. I appreciate all the support, everything that y'all do. Y'all be encouraged. I have a wonderful, wonderful day.